I'm not tall like Mr. Kyle. Okay. Hello, everyone. I extend the warmest of greetings to you ladies, gentlemen, parents, siblings, other family members, friends, and other attendees. I welcome you all here and would like to talk a little bit about the childhood dreams. We've all had them, and I'll start with one of my own. Back in 2019, I was exposed for the first time to the behind-the-scenes process of how a TV show called Henry Danger was made. Little me fell in love with the filmmaking process through this show and decided that he no longer wanted to be a park ranger or a teacher or a karate instructor. He decided he wanted to be a film director, and I've kept that dream ever since I was 9 years old. I studied how films are made, every aspect, from the cinematography to the writing, from the editing to the acting. But I'm not the only person that this has happened to. Come on, I know it's happened already. Millions upon millions of children have had an experience as a kid that then lit the fire inside of them to make them follow their dreams. However, in 2019, Hazel Ramsell published an article on PerkBox that revealed that only 4% of people end up in the jobs that they wanted to have. So the question is, why do only 4% of people achieve their childhood dreams? Yeah, achieve. What do they do differently? Through many, many hours of long research, about 10 minutes, I found 3 qualities that you need in order to follow your childhood dreams. And what's more, I've got really good news for you. These qualities can all be taught. You don't have to be born with any of them. You can do them starting today, right now, when you leave this room. And eventually, if you keep your mind to working collaboratively, constantly innovating, and never letting go of your sense of determination, you can do anything. However, for me at least, working collaboratively is kind of the hardest one. When my friends used to ask me how I have straight A's, I answered, I don't talk to friends during class. Instead, I paid attention and did my work immediately. While this attitude is good academically, it's not very good socially or occupationally in the long term. It taught me I can't depend on others, and that they will slow me down. Due to this mindset, from kindergarten all the way to 6th grade, I was an introvert and had little to no friends, believe it or not. But in order to succeed in the modern world, you have to be able to depend on others. The fastest people are the ones who relay the race in a team. To write a book, all you really need is a writer, notebook, and pencil. But in order to make a movie like I want to do when I grow up, you need camera operators talking to lighting designers, hundreds of people all working together and communicating between departments, writers speaking with the acting coaches, editors instructing the music composers, and the directors watching over everyone. This whole web of people needs to communicate successfully and work together like a well-oiled machine in order to make a truly incredible piece of cinema. So learn the lesson a lot quicker than I did, and work together instead of by yourself. In order to appeal to the masses in the entertainment industry, you need to be very varied. There is a tactic entitled innovation, and it is extremely necessary to be successful in the modern world. If you are an independent filmmaker, it's absolute necessity to use the human mind's infinite creativity to construct contemporary stories. Otherwise, the big executives at the very top will deny your proposal and refuse to fund your movie. They're just going to die on the vine. During COVID-19, many people entertain themselves with exercising, playing video games, cooking, or walking outside in nature. I wrote a book series, but there was a problem. Who here's read Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan? Tell me if this sounds familiar. Demigods go to a place to learn stuff and then have to leave for a quest where they will be faced with betrayal, high stakes, and monsters. Sounds familiar to anyone? Yeah, exactly. No publisher would have given my book the go-ahead because it's too similar to someone else's creation. I had to innovate and make a new series that was different and interesting, and I did. And you can all do the same. You have creativity. Heck, if you add up all the synapses in your brain, you have a whole 2.5 petabytes of data storing capacity. That's 2.5 million gigabytes in your head to create anything you want. Use it. Foster your imagination and you will become popular, successful, and famous. You will go somewhere gigantic in this world if you use your ingenuity to innovate. However, even if your proposal is accepted, the road ahead of you is twisted and rough, riddled with roadblocks and potholes. These roadblocks can seem as tall as Mount Everest, and potholes as deep as the Mariana Trench. They can feel as impassable, intimidating, and all-powerful as a black hole. You will be faced with problems with people, machines, money, and time, but there is a way to beat them all. Through another 1,000+ seconds of searching, I came up with the idea. Determination, grit, perseverance. If you are dedicated to your project and tackle it with an uncountable amount of conviction and courage, it will succeed. There is no failure if you refuse to give up and continue to press onward in the face of adversity. For example, I earned my first degree senior black belt Chinese American Kempo in 2021. At the time, I was the youngest person in my karate class, at only 12 years old. There was a mountain of work to be done, from thousands of exercises to hundreds of self-defense combinations to way too many katas, which are sets of movements similar to a dance. This 12-year-old had me memorize all of it and do a written test while dealing with depression and hopelessness. Yet I pressed on and earned my solid black belt with a red stripe and my name on it because of my grit, because of my determination, because I persevered and tackled the challenge with courage and conviction. Similarly, the USA had an unfathomable amount of conviction. When our country, the United States of America, was no more than a child, and the people running it also, they all had dreams of becoming great. But to achieve that greatness, they needed a convention to create a great constitution. During that convention, George Washington sat in a chair at the room's head. Carved in the back of his chair was a sun partway under and partway over the horizon. Throughout the conference, Benjamin Franklin wondered whether the sun was rising or setting. By the end of the convention, he decided the sun was indeed rising over America's future. The sun symbolized the Revolutionary War's spark in allowing America to thrive. Similarly, we must look to the sun for guidance. While it sets every night, it also rises triumphantly every morning. We must remember that, like the sun, we will rise again. When Mount Everest and Mariana Trench-sized roadblocks face us, we will use our determination to dodge them and leap over them. They do not stand in the way of our success. Humans are unique in the animal kingdom that we have highly functioning brains that are capable of creating hundreds of civilizations. We will innovate, we will persevere, we will work collaboratively. If we do all of these things, we can, in fact, do anything that we set our minds to. And that includes setting the spark to the cannon fuse of our childhood dreams. Our childhoods, they serve as the cannon itself. And while the dream is the fuse, our qualities to make it succeed are the gunpowder. And our inspiration is the fire. With all of that combined, we will shoot our dreams up out of the cannon, off the earth, and into the rising, victorious sun. And just like that, with all those ingredients, tiny little juvenile us will have our dreams come true, and we will succeed in the world. We are the future. We must act like it. We must set ourselves up for success in order to make the world flourish. Be the director of your life, the author of your destiny, the master of your future. The sun rises at the center of our solar system, and it will rise for us. Thank you.
David, thank you so much for your words and sharing yourself. And in case you got caught up in thinking about many noteworthy items he presented, I'm back to how could all this start with Henry Danger? Can't wait to tell my son about it. Please, thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Bloom, Ms. Kelly, and Bailey to come on up on stage. They're going to help with some certificates. As they make their way